This morning we are going to go over your study guide to make sure that you are completely ready for your test. I don't know yet if the test will be Wednesday or Thursday. Did any of you all hear a date yesterday? No specific date. Okay, let me talk to the other two teachers. I would probably push for Wednesday tomorrow, but they may want to drag it out and do it on Thursday. So question one, very simple. Write the Pythagorean theorem formula. All you need to put right here is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You don't need anything more than that for that specific problem. Then it says label the right triangle correctly. Leg, right angle, hypotenuse. Notice that there are 4 words right here. You need to put all of them over here. So I'm going to start with the one that I know for sure, which is the hypotenuse, and I'm not going to put C. I'm going to actually write the word hypotenuse because it says to use the word hypotenuse. And then I know that that's the hypotenuse because this is the right angle. And if this is the right angle and that's the hypotenuse, then this down here must be a leg, and this over here must also be a leg. So make sure you know how to label those 4 things on a right triangle. I would go as far as to say that this is leg A, this is leg B, and this is hypotenuse C, because that's where we come up with a squared plus b squared equals c squared, is with knowing which sides we label which. The hypotenuse is always letter C. Use the triangle below to fill in each blank box to complete the Pythagorean theorem. Well, since I know that the hypotenuse, which is across from the right angle, is always side C, that means that 20 is side C. So if 20 is side C, 20 has to go right here. So that would be 20 squared right there in that box. And just a moment here. Just checking on something. That means that these need to be sides A and B. So for this right here, I'm going to call this side A and this side B. So I'm going to put 12 squared and then 16 squared down here to equal 20 squared. I can double check to make sure that I did that correctly by using a calculator and seeing if I did the math right. 12 squared is 144. 16 squared equals 256. And 144 plus 256 equals 400, and 20 squared equals 400. So, yep, that is a right triangle. That works out. A right triangle has a leg with a length of 12 inches, so that if this is a leg, we're going to call this side A. And a hypotenuse with a length of 20 inches. If this is the hypotenuse, this is side C. Enter the length in inches of the other leg of the triangle. Round your answer to the nearest 100th place. Well, if I'm given C instead of A, I can't do A squared plus B squared because I don't have B equals C squared. I have A squared and I have C squared. I'm looking for B squared. So really what I would be doing is subtracting A squared from both sides. So I'm going to do 20 squared minus 12 squared, which is going to be 400 minus 144. If you'll notice, it's the same numbers as up here. And that's going to equal, not C squared, sorry. I'm so used to saying C squared. It's going to equal B squared. 400 minus 144 is 256. 256 equals B squared. I need to take the square root of both sides, get rid of this squared 2 right here, and I come up with 16 equals B. Pretty much on all of these, the key is to figure out which side is A, which side is B, and which side is C. The only side that has to be exact is side C. Market Street, Bluebird Lane, and Cardinal Way all intersect to form a right triangle. Here it is right here. Before I read anything else, I'm going to note that here is my right angle. If that is my right angle, then this side over here has to be side C. It has to be the hypotenuse. And if that is the hypotenuse, I want to see, are they having me find that or are they giving me that? So let's look. It says if Market Street, which is side A, is 95 yards long, and Bluebird Lane is 115, so they just gave me Bluebird Lane, which is side C, equals 115, then I am looking for Cardinal Way, which is going to be side B. So it's similar to this problem up here. I have C and I have A, so I need to do a subtraction problem. And that subtraction problem is going to be 115 squared minus 95 squared equals B squared. Now, believe it or not, I don't know 115 squared. And it equals 13,225. Subtract from that 95 squared, which is 9,025. And the answer to that is going to be B squared, not the missing side length. It's going to be B squared. So now I'm going to subtract those two. Notice that I just made 9,025 negative, and then I'm going to add it to 13,225 because a negative is the same thing as subtraction. I get 4,200 equals B squared. This side length right here is not 4,200 yards long. I need to take the square root of both sides. When you get an answer that is enormous on the test, on a study guide, on something with the Pythagorean theorem, and you think that does not make sense, this side can't be 95, this side be 115, and this side be 4,200, it probably means that you did not take the square root. So I need to take the square root of 4,200 to find my final answer. And the square root of 4,200 is 64.807. It says round to the nearest hundredths place. The number 100 has 2 zeros in it. So if this equals 64.8074, that'll get me past the hundredths place. I need to find my decimal point and then go over 1, 2 spots. That's my hundredths place. 1, 2 spots. There's the hundredths place right there, that's 0. The 7 after it determines whether or not I keep this as 0 or if I round it up to a 1. So really what this is saying is 7 closer to 0 or is it closer to 10? It's closer to 10, so I'm going to put 8 and then I'm going to put 10 right here. 64.810, but then I get rid of that 0 because I want my answer to be in the hundredths place, not the thousandths place. So 64 and 81 hundredths yards long. Okay, my suspicion is you're going to have some questions like this on the test. I don't know if they will give the picture or not. If they do not give the picture, the first thing that you should do is to draw a picture of what is being described to you. I'm going to say that one more time. If all you had on the test was this right here, just the words, the very first thing that you should do is to draw a picture to represent what it is that the question is asking, and then from there, figure out which sides are given to you, A, B, or C. It says a 10-foot ladder must be placed exactly 6 feet from the base of a wall. So the ladder is 10 feet long and it's going to be leaning. I'm almost certain that the ladder is going to have to be side length C because it's going to be at an angle. And it's going to be 6 feet from the base of the wall. So down here is how far it is from the wall. Right here is how long the ladder is. Here is my right angle. So if that's the right angle, I was correct. The ladder has to be the length of side C. So we have C over here equals 10. Down here we have B equals 6, and we are looking for side A. So let's read it again. A 10-foot ladder must be placed exactly 6 feet from the base of a wall, forming a right angle with the wall. Determine the length in feet of the longest side of the resulting triangle. Determine the length in feet of the longest side of the resulting triangle. I already know the longest side is going to be side length C, which is going to be 10, but let's just prove it. So to find this side length right here, I'm going to do 10 squared minus 6 squared, which is going to be 100, minus 36, which equals 64.